Good morning. This is Malia Lindquist, and this is KGNU's weekly show live at Penny Lane. In her book, All But My Soul, Abuse Beyond Control, psychologist Jeannie King tells a tragic story. So one of the major themes is not just the violence, which is something that we hear about, but how that can be perpetuated after the fact, through the courts, how the victim may try to get help.
Right. It shows how a perpetrator can utilize the system to continue to batter the victim through the courts.
And how can that be done?
It's done all the time. In fact, oftentimes it's called stalking through the courts. And what happens is the perpetrator can align with the finances or the politics of the case, and in so doing can just continue the litigation on and on and on indefinitely.
This has got to be an anomaly. This is not something that could happen where an abuser is able to use the court system to eventually get children who he's also abused away from the mother and into his custody. Is it an anomaly?
It's not an anomaly. Unfortunately, it's an epidemic in our country, but we don't hear about it. And the reason that we don't hear about it is because when it happens, the victim is usually either pathologized and parked into some kind of psychiatric setting, so they're discredited, or they're backed into a fraudulent criminal charge, which also discredits them, or they go underground and you never hear from them again. So very rarely do you hear someone come forward and tell this story, but it is rampant, coast to coast.
What would you have to say for somebody who is in an abusive relationship, who may be with an abuser who has the financial means and disposition to further the abuse? I mean, reading that book, I would think, oh my gosh, there's no way out. What does the victim do?
That's the very scary thing, it actually is harder for, the more the money, the harder it is on the victim. There's no question about that. People think, well, if there are a lot of resources, then, it's easier for women of greater means, but it actually works just the opposite. And a lot of the research shows that. So what do I suggest? In fact, I have committed the balance of my professional career to this work, to helping people wake up before it's too late, to helping people navigate the system before they're compromised to the end, to the hilt. And there's much that one can do. The more you do up front, the better you posture yourself. There's no question about that.